gone over that night in my head more times than I can count. There was no argument, no panic before it happened. One moment we were inside the tent, and the next we were cutting our way out into the freezing dark. My name is Igor Dyatlov. I was 23 years old at the time, a student at the Ural Polytechnic Institute. In late January 1959, I led a hiking expedition into the northern Ural Mountains. There were 10 of us at the start, but one turned back early due to illness. That left 9 of us to continue the journey, and none of us ever made it back at home. Everyone on the team was experienced. Zenaida Kolmogorova had more energy than anyone else. Lyudmila Dubinina was strong and never complained. Georgiy Krivonischenko was always trying to lighten the mood, while Yuri Doroshenko was quieter but dependable. Rustem Slobodin was logical and steady. Alexander Kolevatov was serious and focused. Nicolas Thibeaux-Brignollel was reliable, and Semyon Zolotaryov, older than the rest of us, was a war veteran. And then there was me, Igor Dyatlov. We weren't amateurs. We knew the mountains, or at least we believed we did. Our goal was to reach Otorten Mountain, and to get there, we had to cross a slope known as Kholat Syakhl. The locals called it Dead Mountain, but at the time it didn't mean much to us. It was just another point along the route. On January 28th, Yuri Yudin turned back due to health problems. We said our goodbyes and continued on. He would later become the only one who survived. By February 1st, the weather had worsened. Strong winds and heavy snow reduced visibility, and we drifted off course. Instead of descending into the forest, we found ourselves on the exposed slope of Kholat Syakhl. We decided to camp there. It wasn't ideal, but it seemed manageable. We cut into the snow, set up the tent, and settled in for the night. Inside, everything felt normal. We were tired, but in good spirits. We ate, talked, and rested. Nothing seemed wrong. At some point during the night, something changed. I don't remember exactly what woke us, but there was no time to think. No discussion, no hesitation, just a sudden and overwhelming need to get out. We didn't use the entrance. We cut the tent open from the inside, and that alone should tell you how urgent it felt. We left everything behind. Boots, jackets, supplies. Some of us were barefoot, others barely dressed, yet we still stepped out into temperatures close to minus 30 degrees. No one questioned it. We just moved. The tree line was about 1.5 kilometers downhill, and that's where we went. Later, investigators would find our footprints leading away from the tent. What's strange is that we hadn't run. We walked in a straight line, as if we were trying to stay calm. Near a cedar tree, some of us tried to start a fire, while others attempted to return to the tent. None of us made it. When rescuers found us weeks later, some had died from hypothermia, but others had injuries that didn't match the environment. There were broken ribs, severe internal trauma, injuries comparable to a car crash, yet there were no external wounds and no signs of a struggle. Lyudmila Dubinina was missing her tongue, and some of the others were missing their eyes. It didn't make sense. The tent was confirmed to have been cut from the inside. Our tracks led away into the darkness, and there was no evidence that anyone else had been there. No clear explanation was ever found. The official report simply concluded that an unknown compelling force had caused our deaths. We were trained. We were prepared. We understood the risks of the mountains. So whatever happened that night had to be strong enough to make 9 experienced hikers leave their only shelter in the middle of a deadly winter without even stopping to think. And that's the part I can't explain, because we didn't leave that tent without a reason.